Since the dawn of time for video games, what drew people to specific consoles were, of course, the exclusive games. You heard about this awesome game you read about in a magazine, or in the internet age, you saw some footage or a review that piqued your interest for certain games, which influenced what console you would purchase. You see, there has always been multiple consoles from different companies, and all have first-party studios making games for their system. The exclusive wars go back as far as the eye can see, but it all truly began back during the SNES, Sega Genesis days. Most kids or adults, couldn't afford both consoles, so you had to pick a side, and the commercials and quote-unquote, console wars have been a thing ever since. Today, we have Microsoft's Xbox consoles, Sony's PlayStation consoles, and Nintendo's consoles. Now, Nintendo is almost always just doing their own thing, and have amazing first-party studios carrying their fair share of weight of amazing games that, while visually and performance-wise have been behind the competition, as far back as at least the Nintendo 64, where the line is drawn and where the next console wars kind of began was between Xbox and PlayStation. Now, nobody was catching Sony with the PlayStation 2, but the closest anybody got, and arguably was winning, I'd say 80% of the generation, was Microsoft with the Xbox 360. The Wii ended up on top for Nintendo in the end, but the fight Xbox had after the kind of, underwhelming original Xbox was incredible. Xbox Live and the exclusives just changed the industry. Also known as the Big Three, you had Halo, Gears of War, and Forza were the cornerstones and system sellers for Microsoft's console. Never in a million years would PlayStation fans, or hell, even Nintendo fans, hope to see such games on their system, as exclusives were the name of the game. While I still believe that to be true, and that exclusives are still to this day the main driving force for selling consoles, Microsoft has been slowly moving away from that direction over the last few years. Instead of focusing on the likes, they're focusing on Game Pass, and in a, pseudo kind of way where you don't even need Microsoft's console anymore to play these games. You can play them on your, PC, you can play them on an Amazon Fire Stick, hell, maybe even a smart fridge, who knows. But they're essentially slowly turning themselves into a third-party publisher. In the past, it was hard to imagine games like Halo or Gears of War appearing on PlayStation or Nintendo. However, Microsoft's recent move to share Xbox games with other consoles is changing that. In a recent interview with Gamertag Radio, Phil Spencer had a lot to say. On first-party games, he said, we love our platform and our hardware, but we're not going to put walls up where people can engage with the great games our studios are building. Our games will show up in more places, no doubt. And when questioned on why consumers should still purchase the Xbox, he said, I want people to pick hardware based on the capabilities of that hardware and the choices that they want to make about where they want to play. We want our hardware to win based on the capabilities that we have. Hardware critical and fundamental to what Xbox is, not trying to gatekeep the games off different places. Now, Xbox has been consistently in third place out of the three consoles with every single console generation in terms of hardware sales since they've entered the business. To me, it makes sense for them to, finally go third party as a publisher and release Game Pass, the subscription service, keeping Xbox alive at this point, on other consoles. Indiana Jones, which just recently came out to at least a critical success, I don't know about financial success, as the game was day one on Game Pass, and I still feel that Game Pass is a studio killer. But it's also coming to PS5 very soon, despite being made from Microsoft's first-party studio, Machine Games and Bethesda. PlayStation has also leaned into at least releasing games on PC within a much shorter time frame than in the past, but I don't think they'll go as far as Xbox has in recent years. If Microsoft has another Xbox console in them, I think it'll be the last for them in the console business and may move to strictly being a third-party publisher like Sega did after the Dreamcast all those years ago. So, do you think the rumors of Halo and Gears and games of the like are going to come out on PlayStation this year, like the rumors suggest? Can you imagine playing those games on different hardware than an Xbox or PC? If I told my younger self that it was a possibility, I would have laughed in my face. Do you think Xbox is on its way out of the console business to focus on putting its games on more platforms and expanding its Game Pass service? Or do you think they're going to keep trying to double dip and see if console sales will eventually increase to offset the cost of manufacturing? Who's to say? Let me know down in the comments what you think Xbox's next move is and what you want out of the company in the next few years. As always, thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing, commenting on my videos. I love all the engagement, big or small, positive or negative. So thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.